Well, good morning once again. I'm Leonardo McClarty, and I'm the president of the Howard County Chamber, and I'd like to welcome you to our webinar this morning with representatives from the Maryland Department of Labor, as well as Howard County's Office of Workforce Development. And today's topic, of course, is Shift for Success, as we will be talking about different resources and tools available to businesses as we continue to open up our respective offices and places of employment. And I think this is particularly of importance with the governor's announcement yesterday. And I think, right now, maybe we're looking like geniuses in that we timed this perfectly. But I think we've got some great information that we will share that, again, I think will help you or your clients to continue to open up safely, but at the same time, maybe even save you some time and maybe even money with, again, resources that are available to you through the state of Maryland. And so with that, I'm going to get ready to introduce who we have speaking with us today. But before I do so, I want to just continue to acknowledge our 2020 annual partners, which are the businesses and companies that you see behind me on the background, and that they have supported the chamber this year. And truly, without their support, things would have been extremely difficult for us in light of all of the uncertainty and up and down that we've experienced this year. And so, again, want to just continue to acknowledge our 2020 annual partners. And so with that, today you will hear from three individuals, one being Laura Wright, who is a regional navigator with the Department of Labor. And certainly she'll share more about what that actually means. But I think if you just take the two names together in the sense of regional, she has an area, and navigator in the sense that she helps you, find the available tools and resources available to you through the Department of Labor. And then we have Anne Marie Gunning, who specifically is with the Department of Labor working on their work sharing program. And that's a great tool that is available to each of our businesses here, especially now, but often goes underutilized. And so she will share more about that. And then lastly is our local partner in Alexis Lawson, who was with us from the Howard County Office of Workforce Development. And again, workforce development really is able to assist a lot of both potential employees as well as employers, again, working with the Department of Labor, but also, again, making sure that you have the necessary resources to assist you specifically here in Howard County. And so with that, I am going to sign off for the moment and turn things over to Laura, who will get us started. Laura, the screen is yours. Laura, looks like you're muted on your side. There you go. So looks like we may be having a little bit of difficulties getting started here. Laura, can you hear me okay? Okay, so you can get started. I think we can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Anne Marie, if you'd like to just get us started while we sort this out, we can do that as well.
Hold on one sec. Let me get the presentation that I have saved. Problem with shortcut. I'm sorry. Okay, let me pull up the presentation. God, mine's not coming up.
And while we do so, I'll just share with those that are listening just some upcoming events. I'll do this maybe on the front side as opposed to how we normally do it on the back end. And so some upcoming events of note, specifically as it relates to the chamber, is we're doing a multicultural symposium that's coming up on the 16th. And so we'll be partnering with several organizations in Howard County, Visit Howard County or Tourism, the Business Women's Network of Howard County, the Maryland LGBT Chamber, the Maryland Hispanic Chamber, as well as also the Asian American Chamber of Commerce as well. And we'll have the first part of that morning, we'll actually break out into some, go into breakout rooms and have some networking. And then from there, we will go into an actual discussion around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so we've got a great panel that has been assembled here. Excuse me. And so with that, Ann, I'm sorry. Okay, so you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Yes, I am.
All right.
Ready.
But so I invite everyone to check out your emails, particularly on that event coming up on the 16th. And I think as we continue to have various discussions around the numerous issues around diversity and equity and race, certainly I think we're going to have a very enlightening conversation on the 16th from 9:30 to 11. And so we've even made it to where you can get your kids on the computer for school and then join us on the 16th. So Ann, I'm turning it over to you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties that we're having a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not able to share my screen. I've gone into my PowerPoint, but we will send the presentation out to everyone so that they can have it. I'm just going to talk a little bit, again, like I'm from the Maryland Department of Labor. I work for the Division of Workforce Development. And I'm going to interrupt,
Ann, excuse me, Ann, I'm going to interrupt you 1 second. We have the PowerPoint on this side, so we're sharing it.
Okay, so everybody can see it. Great. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I hope I'm in the same sequence as everyone else. So hold on. Okay, so everybody asked, what is work sharing? I'll give you a little bit of overview about how it can benefit your company and help you bring people back during COVID-19. To reduce their staff, and we're keeping a minimal staff on board just to keep the business flowing. So they decided to create this program and use it for COVID-19 purposes and bring in employees. So work sharing provides an alternative to layoff for employers faced with temporary non-cyclical decline in business due to lower economic. It can also serve as a means of bringing back temporary laid off employees. And that's exactly what we're asking to do with the situation. And what happens with work sharing? Well, it allows employers to retain their workforce by temporarily reducing the hours of work within a among the employees with effective units, and employees will receive partial unemployment insurance to supplement the lost wages. Dollars, they will also be able to take advantage of that money also. So what are the benefits for work sharing? Well, there are benefits to both the employer and the employee. The benefits to them maintain a productive and quality of service. So they're able to operate, even though they may be operating at a lower level, they're still able to operate, which is a win-win for everyone, for the customer and also the employer. They're able to retain their experienced employees. And as we all know, our employees are probably one of our biggest assets of our company. We don't want to lose them and want to hang on to everyone as much as we can. They come with a lot of talent and training and experience. So we would like to keep them. And that's really important in WorkShare. It's one of the biggest benefits. Keep employees' morale up. If everybody has a job and their income isn't too reduced, then morale stays high. People are able to work and take care of their families also. So that's very important. It's also flexible to utilize work sharing for the entire company or the selected units. This means that not everyone has to be on WorkShare for the company. If it's a large company and they only want to bring back the contract up for different units. There's different units within the company, and everybody's on a different work. Everybody's coming back in a different type of different. This enables the business conditions improve. So until unemployment insurance for the percentage that they're not back to work. It saves the expense. All businesses is to recruit and hire and train. This way you already have everybody still intact, your staff already on, and you don't have to that bring on people. Gradually you're able by hiring you 4 hours employment because they were maybe they're able to gradually bring them back off of unemployment and hours that are available. And one of the most important things to employers is while shared work benefits are no unemployment insurance count for claims December 27th, shared work this means is it will not be a can't have another thing costing them additional monies. So this is a great not increase their down the road. And there are benefits for the employees. They're able to keep their current rat race looking for it could be very difficult to find one. So continue to earn wages from your employer for hours worked. So they get to continue earning their wages, might not have to start out at the bottom again. They have their tenure in there. They're able to start out with the wages they're already receiving. Because they're not working hours, they're able to earn their regular wages. And in addition, are able to receive that prorated unemployment insurance benefit to supplement those lost wages. They're able to retain their health and retirement benefits. They will not generally be reduced or eliminated unless they are reduced for the entire company and workforce. So they just can't reduce those that are on work share if they're paying everybody else their health care and benefits. So that's a great plus too, since health care and retirement benefits are a big part of our employment. And they're not required to meet the same terms as those on regular unemployment insurance, such as that active job search or accepting offers of suitable work unless the employer is offering you additional hours. And this is great too. And this is what's going to keep them from looking and keeping them tied to all the great benefits that are really important and are a benefit to both the employer and the employee. So what are the work sharing requirements? The requirements are you must have a minimum of 2 employees plan. So there has to be 2 people on the plan. And I will go over all the ones with the asterisks, there are 3. There is a little stipulation in there because we are waiving some with good cause, and that's one of them. Must reduce the work sharing employers' hours by 20 to 50%. So what does this mean? So they have to be being back to work somewhere between, they can only take advantage of work share 20 or 50%. So they have to be back to work with you. Employees must reduce the percentage of hours worked equally among all units. Everybody on that company in the same reduced percentage on that contract. 50-50, they're going to work with the employer 50%, and then they'll take advantage of work share 50%. So everybody on that contract has to be like multiple contracts if you need to. No more than 26 weeks in a year. Work sharing is not for employers to use for. So if this is a traditional shutdown, which I don't feel like that's for anyone right now. I feel like everything's due to COVID-19. So, but it's just in case it's not used for seasonal or cyclical shutdown. Current with their unemployment insurance tax contribution. So you do need to be in good standing for this to work also. Employees looking for the employer for at least 3 months, and employers who are full-time, part-time, exempt, salary, or hourly are all eligible as long as they are normally work 20 to 40 hours. So it pretty much works for everyone, as long as they're part-time between 20 and 40 hours or full-time of 40 hours, and they salary generally for 1099 employees. So that's important to it. I'm trying to make some allowances and requirements to make it work for every employer. So if you only have one employee, we are allowing that. So keep that in mind. And also real important is the part about employers being there for at least 3 months. They are allowing that even if you were there one day prior to COVID-19, advantage of Workshare also. It's just not for people that you would have hired after the whole COVID-19 began. So you had to at least be there one day. So these are all good things that they are so that it will help all. So what are the work sharing next steps are? If there's a bargaining agent that you're applying for Workshare, both. You can't force anyone to be on Workshare. The employee does have to agree to be part of Workshare. Download and complete. There is a link that you can just click on from this PowerPoint presentation, and if not, application on our website at ui.worksharing@maryland.gov. And fill it out. It has gotten a little lengthy, the application, but if you have any questions about filling it out, you can contact your regional business consultant, or you can contact me, or you can even contact the workshop. You have to return the application and the participant .worksharing@maryland.gov within 7 to 15 calendar days before you anticipate the work sharing start date. So you do have to want this all to work out. You just can't fill it out and it can't be, it has moving forward. So if anybody's planning, make sure you have a plan and that you get the work plan together within 7 to 15 days, because it does take, which brings me to the next part. A decision will be made within 15 calendar days of the receipt of the completed notify by email if you're approved, and the next step and kind of walk you through it if needed. If approved, the employer is required to submit a weekly certification of hours worked. When the employees are filing for unemployment, they will go into Beacon and file every week form for you and file for you. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and it basically and the signature of the employee agreeing to be part of it for so that it makes it a little bit easier on the employees, or the claimants as we would call them, and it's a little bit more organized because the employer is bringing it all together and submitting it on their behalf. So I've been working very well for a lot of our employers, large employers. As you can see, we have Togo Food Products uses it and they loved it. It worked great for them. And so do BT Technologies. Employees, and it was a solution so that they did not lose For more information, you can either, like I said, contact your regional business consultant, or you can contact me, or you can reach out to the www.labor.maryland.gov website, where you can find more answers to frequently asked questions and a little bit more detail, if you have any. Go over to returning to work, and I think it looks like they might have the PowerPoint presentation up, and Laura might be back.
I think we can continue with this one. I don't know if it stops, or is this the only? I think we had the full presentation on our end.
Okay, do you have it back up and running? We should be to the returning to work part. So
That's where we are.
Okay, good. Going over, what happens if employees don't return to work, and how you can assist them with helping getting them back to work, and how it I don't think we have Laura. So returning to work for employees, unemployment insurance is for job seekers, or it's for them to collect is when they're out of work and work is not available. However, employers are calling this work available, and we consider it to be suitable since they already does have an obligation to apply for the accepted offer to work. So this just goes over law and how it affects on a little bit of our information in our website that talks about how it's dealing with with those that might not be able to return to work because of childcare issues, and different situations affecting them with caring for children since they're not back to school also. But I'm not going to really go over that too much because it is the unemployment insurance law. But I would, if anybody has any questions, especially employers, to visit our website to see how it does affect and what the obligation is for employees to return to work. So if you have someone that just outright says they don't want to come back to work and they would rather stay home, we have been hearing, unfortunately, a lot of people, more so when we were giving the $600 extra. Now it's $300 because FEMA has stepped in to add some extra benefits to our unemployment insurance. So it's reduced down by $300. But when it was up to $600, we did have a little bit of a problem getting some people back to work, for the main reason that some people were getting more money by staying out of work than returning to work. And as this crossed some of the people that make the decisions, as they looked at it, they did realize that perhaps they needed to lower the amount, and it has been reduced down to $300. And we're not sure if we're going to have this similar problem about people not wanting and refusing to go back to work because of claiming that it's more money for them to stay off. But we did have a little bit of that problem. And we were informing employers that if they did have people telling them that they didn't want to return or refusing to come back to work, that there was a way that they could let us know. And it was pretty much their obligation to let us know that someone did not want to come back to work. And some might not have wanted to come back for good cause, but we wanted to put that into unemployment insurance's hands so that they could adjudicate whether the person did not come back with good cause. So if you do have someone that doesn't want to, I would suggest you just report that. And there's some information on how to report it. They do have a portal now that you can just go online and do it. Unfortunately, if you do not have an account, you may still have to go to the UI bulkclaims@maryland.gov email and send it in. And the information that you'll generally be letting us know is your company's name, the name, title, and phone number for your company, the name of the employee, and the last 4 digits of the employer's social security number, and notifying us why they're not coming back to work. And then what that will do is create an issue on the person's unemployment insurance claim, and someone from unemployment insurance will call them and ask them a few questions just to determine if it makes sense for them to still be collecting unemployment insurance. And if not, they'll let them know that they may need to return, or their unemployment insurance will be eliminated. So it's a rough decision to make, but we really do want everybody back to work that can work, so that we can get our economy and our workforce back together, and hopefully everything back like it was before the whole COVID-19. So like I mentioned, there is a portal that you can go to, and it basically will ask you, you can update when you anticipate employers coming back to work, and that second line, report a job refusal. And it briefly goes over some of the information. If you click on some of the stuff on the sidebar there that talks about the requirements of unemployment, and some of the things that I mentioned, how to change that return to work date. So if people are not returning to work and you're finding that you're left with a workforce that might be short, and you might need to hire some additional employees, and you might need to check in with us to see if we can help you with trying to find new talent. We definitely can help and assist you with that also. So get to the recruiting assistance part. There are some resources that are out there that can help the employee with finding talent if they are getting back and they don't have that staff back to work. Unfortunately, it's not going to be very helpful for those that continue to stay on unemployment, because as we both know, the employer does have to eventually go on and get their staff back together and open their doors and try to get back to normal business as much as we can. So what we're doing is we're trying to get the word out there that we can help with recruitment assistance if needed. We can go ahead and help connect you to the Maryland Workforce Exchange, where you can go ahead and use the computerized system to match your needs with the people that are enrolled in our Maryland Workforce Exchange. And we do have a large group of people in there right now, because it was a requirement that everyone get enrolled in the Maryland Workforce Exchange. So we're just trying to do a match of what your needs are with what we have in our system, so that you can get the talent that you need to resume business. We have America Job Centers in every region and regional contacts that you can go ahead and connect with. Like I said, you definitely can get in contact with me, and I can let you know who your regional contact is. For Howard County, it is Teresa Mena, and Laura Wright is her backup. We also can get you logged into some of our virtual job fairs. We've been having quite a bit of virtual job fairs going on, and they've been very successful in helping people recruit and find the talent that they need. We also have been doing individual recruitments for employers and information sessions where an employer can go on and share some interesting aspects about their company, and kind of just gives them a shout out so that they can tell us a little bit about their company and what they're looking for. And we call those information sessions. And Alexis Lawson is really good at keeping those going and pretty much putting those on a couple of times a month. Generally, we keep the information sessions to maybe 3 employers at a time, just so that we can give them some personalized concentration, so that we can make sure we're filling their needs. Like always, we do give veterans priority of service in all our job orders and our recruitment needs. So we do feel veterans are very important in our workforce, and we continue to do so and ask that you do so also. And then we have the Maryland Business Works Incumbent Worker Training. And that also, since people might not be returning and you might have to shift people around in your organization, you might have to promote someone and get them additional training. We did want to let you know that we do have the Maryland Business Works Incumbent Training Program, which can help pay for 50% of the training. So it's generally a 50-50 match. So it does work out pretty well. I think we have some slides down here that talks about all that. So the next slide is the Maryland Workforce Exchange that I mentioned that employers can utilize to search for talent. It's a pretty easy process of enrolling in there as an employer. And you can even create a job scout where you can go in and look for people, get posts, get an alert when someone matches what you need. So it is a great system to help you look for your talent and help you do fulfill your recruitment needs. And certainly if it's overwhelming to any employer, you can also contact us and we can help navigate you through that. So like I said, we have our job centers. We have them everywhere throughout Maryland. And these are centers that are dedicated to help the employers in the area and also the job seekers in the area connect together. We also help our veterans, transitioning military personnel, and other qualified individuals. And we also do have a special program for our justice-involved returning citizens. We can also help if you want to work with that pool of candidates. We can also help you look for candidates and bring them back to work, and also help those returning citizens. On the next screen gives you a map of all our different centers that we do have. And when you have the presentation, you can click on the county and it will also bring up who is in your area and who you can contact if you need any more information or services, and to see what individual services are specific to your county. I talked briefly about our virtual job fairs. We did have a really large job fair recently, and we had over 100 employers participate and over 900 job seekers come through. So it was a great source of connecting job seekers with employers that needed them and had openings. We also can help you advertise your recruitments for free. We can help put if you send us a flyer, we can go ahead and put it on our web page. We can also tweet it out. In addition, our WIOA partners at Howard County are doing the same. They're taking your job order and looking at it and actually going in and trying to find you a job match, just to kind of help you out a little bit more and screen some applicants so that you can get the most qualified applicants that your company may need. I talked briefly about the incumbent worker training. It is a great tool to use if, like I said, if you have to shift people around, because if your workforce doesn't look like it normally did, and you might have to promote someone, move someone up and get them additional training. We do provide a 50-50 match. There's a dollar to match, and it's a $4,500 training cap per person. And a maximum of $40,000 per company. We do ask that you do give us a little bit of a time and send that application to us within 3 to 5 weeks before you anticipate that training, so that we can determine if we need you to fix your application or if we can approve it. And generally this training is for those looking for training in credential, some type of training that is credentialed or upskilled. It's generally not for training in customer service and leadership. It's training that is of value, even though customer service is a value. You think of it as a skill gain or an upskill or something where there is a credential. If you have any questions about this also, you can reach out to Teresa Mena or Laura or me, and we can go ahead and help you with the application. But remember, it's for upgrading the skills of current employers and creating opportunities and expanding your existing workforce. We know right now everybody might not be expanding, but it's basically looking for, we're trying to work with everybody so that you can move your employees around to make it fit, so that you can create a pipeline for your work when we are able to get back to business and back to full staff. There are the websites that you can go and get the application and additional information and questions answered. So again, remember, it is a reimbursement. It's for small businesses under 500 people. and for training that is in demand and is upgrading skills, just not for like our regular entry level training. So the last screen is additional resources that you might want to check out. Again, there's that hiring job board that pulls from our website, that if you would like us to put information on there, we certainly can. And we do put new openings out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and we do tweet them out. The last one is the Business Express resource page, which is a great resource because it ties all of our state services together. It goes into Commerce, Department of Transportation, really all the state agencies. There's about 10 of them that participate on the Business Express, but it does give you everything that's going on in your county. Excuse me, the governor's workforce page is attached to there, and you get all the latest updated information about what's going on. You'll even be able to find out how we've switched to level 3, excuse me, and getting back to work, and what's going on with the reopening phase that we may be in. And it even brings you to each county and how it affects each county. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm not sure if Alexis wants to go additional things. There you go, Alexis. For the
yes, hi. I'm Alexis Lawson. Thanks, Ann. Great job. I just wanted to introduce myself and just to piggyback off Ann, what you were saying. I am the business services representative for the Office of Workforce Development at the Columbia Workforce Center. We work with everyone from GED to PhD. We assist folks with getting back to work. We work with individuals, like Ann said, who are laid off. We work with the youth. We work with unemployed and underemployed. We're co-located at the center with the Division of Rehab Services, Ann, you so nicely said, who work specifically with individuals with a disability. We work with businesses with recruitment and retention of their workforce. And we provide labor market information. And we also, when we are open again, we will also offer meeting space. We are working virtually, working with our job seekers right now. In cases where businesses are downsizing, we can provide assistance to your employees. Just last week, and as you mentioned, we hosted an IT virtual employment information session where 4 companies were highlighted, their IT jobs, and they were able to share their opening virtually. And we had a great turnout. Our next big event will be a healthcare information session on September 24th at 2 p.m. So if you're a healthcare company, if you got some great openings and you want the job seekers to find out about it, I believe my contact information is at the end of the PowerPoint. And also Teresa Maynard will be sending that information out as well. And lastly, the county also has training grants. We have the on-the-job training grant. If your employee is missing that demand skill, as Ann mentioned, that skill gain, that credential, and if that one skill that you would seriously consider hiring them, we can possibly help with that if they're registered as our customer before you hire them. So we could possibly look at our training grants toward that. And then also incumbent funding for in-demand occupations that meet the criteria if we're to avert a layoff, or if that position is opening up and you're promoting someone and it opens up a seat for someone else. So we could possibly look at some assistance as well. We love to work with you, and I'm glad to be on the forum today.
Well, excellent. Thank you, Alexis. So if there are any questions, we'll certainly take those now. And as it states here, if you would use the chat box to ask your questions here, if there are any questions that we currently have. Well, I guess it perhaps looks like everyone received the information that they were seeking. And so for right now, at least it appears that we do not have any questions. And so recognizing that everyone is busy, I'm not going to be one to just hold us for the sake of holding us. And so one, I want to thank both Anne Marie as well as Laura and Alexis for joining us this morning and sharing this information. As I stated earlier, we will follow up and send mention this in the chat. We will send the PowerPoint out to those that were able to attend this morning and that are registered. In addition, we've got the recording of the presentation as well. Those also, and then just as a few reminders again of some upcoming events. I touched on it earlier related to the Multicultural Symposium. Also, our executive speaker series kicks back off on the 22nd, where we'll be talking about the impact of COVID-19 on healthcare. And so we've got, a great panel discussion there, as we'll have representatives from Kaiser Permanente, as well as Charter Radiology and Howard County General Hospital. So we'll be having perspectives both from the practitioner kind of seeing patients directly, as well as from an insurer standpoint, and then obviously as from a hospital. And that'll be moderated by David Anderson from Anderson True North. So again, that's on the 22nd. Other programs are on the chamber calendar. And so with that, I thank all of you for attending today and have a great rest of your day.